frankly, as an architect, I think I have topped myself with this tower. It's big, it's bold, it's beautiful, it's...
Boring. Basically, boring.
What? How can you say that? Why, it's...
Delicious!
Delicious, see?
Get your cares away. Worries for another day. Let the music play. Down at Fraggle Rock. Down at Fraggle Rock. Down at Fraggle Rock.
Down at Fraggle Rock.
Hey, welcome to Noms. I am Jen, and with me today is my personal psychic, Christina.
I have a good feeling about today.
Today we're actually going to be showing you a recipe from a show that I hold personally deep in my heart called Fraggle Rock. We're going to concentrate on Fraggle Rock and a recipe that you didn't really find in the show, but it's something that I always had a curiosity about, and that is the Doozer Sticks. The Doozers were little green men that would build the framing of certain buildings, never actually finish them, but the Fraggles would come around and fight them.
That's right. They would go and take them, they would nom on them, and the Doozers, instead of being like, hey, stop eating my stuff, they just made more.
They just made more. I'm not using radishes.
Good. That's good.
I'm using sugar. And it's a very, very simple recipe. If you've ever been intimidated by thinking, I could never make hard candy, I don't know where to start. You need thermometers, you need pans, you need stoves. Who has stoves?
Nobody.
Stove. What kind of name is that?
We're just using a microwave. And two simple ingredients, sugar and corn syrup.
Also sugar.
Right, but a liquid form.
Right.
So let's get started. The first thing that you're gonna wanna need is 1 cup of white sugar. Steeners, if you wanna pour that in there for me.
Sure.
Pour that into a microwave safe bowl because, like I said, we're gonna be using the microwave.
Awesome.
There you go.
I just made it fancy. You don't need to, you just dump it in. Just
And 1/2 cup
half
cup
yeah.
of corn syrup. Pour that into your microwave safe bowl and mix it either with a metal or wooden spoon.
Today we're using metal. Today's show is brought to you by metal.
And stir it so all of the dry sugar is incorporated with the wet sugar. Now, if you've noticed the other things that are on the counter here, we have 1 dram of hard candy flavoring. I found this at Michael's for about $2.99, and it was for 2 bottles, and that will make 2 recipes. I got apple and lemon, and I think I like the lemon better, but they're both pretty good. You're gonna need 2 pieces of plastic wrap, 1 for the first round in the microwave, and then another for the second. You're not gonna wanna use the same piece twice. And then I also purchased this online. It is actually a water bottle ice cube tray. So it makes ice cubes that are very thin and long. This is what I'm using as my mold because I wasn't able to find anything else that makes a stick-like form for the hard candy. And that's all you need. Oh, and a ladle. Can you tell us about the ladle?
You may recognize this ladle from Jurassic Park. Clever girl. So we'll be using that a little bit later once we have everything all melted.
Now you don't have to use a famous ladle. You
Nope.
can use any ladle, but not a plastic one.
No, because that'll melt and it'll get into your candy and you don't want plastic candy.
No.
No.
Once it's completely covered, you're gonna put it in your microwave for 3 minutes. Remove your microwave safe bowl carefully from the microwave. The sugar will be very, very hot. Take off your plastic wrap. Make sure you do it away from yourself. I did burn myself on the steam once. That's all it took. And go ahead and stir it just to make sure everything is incorporated.
It's looking great.
It is.
Nice and molten.
Mm-hmm.
Clear. Shouldn't be lumpy.
No lumps.
No lumps. Not like Mom's mashed potatoes.
And then get a second piece of plastic wrap. Please do not use the first one. Please. I'm not going to be held responsible for whatever happens if you try to use it twice.
No.
And use plastic wrap. I did think I was saving myself some time and didn't use plastic wrap one time, and the sugar burnt. So it's a horrible smell. Once your bowl has been covered a second time, go ahead and put it back into the microwave for an additional 3 minutes. Now the second time around with your sugar, it's going to be even more hot, molten.
Yep, I can see it bubbling.
Yes, it will be boiling. Remove your plastic wrap again, quite carefully away from you, and wait for the boiling to subside. At that point, you're going to add your flavoring.
All right.
So go ahead and take your licked spoon again. Pour in your flavoring. Move your face away from the fumes.
Away, because you can't see it, but there's, I'm being overcome by apple.
It's cold!
Taste it.
Is it delicious at least?
It is, it smells great.
Okay, once that's fully mixed in, take your mold, whatever you're ending up using, and your ladle, and scoop the molten sugar into your mold, making sure that you remain consistent in how much you put in each
Don't be a
spot.
dummy, Steeners. Don't be a dummy.
And then after you've poured all of that into your mold, you're gonna put it right away into the hot soapy water that you have prepared.
That's right, that you have standing by.
You have to work very quickly. It does cool very fast.
Don't work like me.
If you have a Pyrex measuring cup that has a spout on it, you can definitely pour your molten mixture into that Pyrex container first and just keep going. I unfortunately do not have one of those. That's why we're using the ladle right here.
Famous ladle is best to distract dinosaurs and not molten sugar.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
So now what do we do?
I'm gonna put this in hot soapy water.
All right. And then I'll just sit here and we'll just let this cool for a while because it's really, really hot. And then we'll show you how to build nifty things with them. Yes.
And here is our Doozer stick. The way that you pour it into the mold, you could have some jagged edges, so if you want to just go ahead and break those little suckers off, you can eat those. Make it a little bit more smooth. They come off really easily. Now, in the process of figuring out how to build with these sticks, we tested a lot of things. We used marshmallows to connect them. We used
Hot
glue to fake it.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't
Nope.
work. Elmer's glue doesn't work either. Don't try to fake it. Icing, we used icing, just kind of toppled over. And then the final thing that actually worked was using a creme brulee torch. I actually got this for Christmas from my parents about 3 years ago, and I just got butane, but you can get it from any Bath and Body Works store, creme brulee torch.
Nope. They will not sell you fire at Bath and Body Works, but they will at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh. Lotions and fire!
Together again.
That's what I meant. Anyways, very easy. We got the butane at our local Get It All store, CVS. And that is what we're going to be using to build our Doozer structure today. We also tried doing a traditional square structure, and that was not very sturdy. I am not an architect.
Neither am I. I'm not an engineer. I'm really bad at math.
It's not going to work very well. So the triangle method is what has actually worked and stayed sturdy and has allowed us to build. Now, of course, you don't have to build with your Doozer sticks. You can just eat them. They are delicious without being a building. But if you want to, you know, be traditional, here we go. So start with a triangle shape as your base. use your
Fire.
creme brulee torch. Kind of towards the end, you're just gonna melt it just a little bit, just so it bubbles. And then you stick it to the other side. And you're gonna do the same with your end piece here. Here's our bottom structure.
Just came out.
And then you're gonna wanna melt each of the 3 corners and the very end of your next structure. You're gonna make a couple of batches of this, the sticks, depending again on your mold, the size, the length. This is what you're gonna get. And then if we were Fraggles, what would we do?
You totally eat them. Oh, whoops, I destroyed your structure.
Don't just stand there, do something!
Help. Police. Murder.
There we
Not-
go.
It doesn't taste like radishes at all.
Tastes like apple.
Sure does.
I think this was a success.
I think so too. Good job. High five. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.